Just got home from the theaters. Let's talk about Uncharted. So, little context. I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I played all the video games. I own merchandise. I have the ring. I just fell off the string, so I have to go find it. But nevertheless, I was looking forward to this movie because it's the most cinematic video game I've ever played, and it would translate into a movie very well. I was a little hesitant with the casting of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, and same with Mark Wahlberg as Sully. The trailers looked interesting, and I was looking forward to it for the most part because it did capture the spirit of Uncharted, at least in the trailers. And after watching this movie as a huge Uncharted fan, I can unabashedly say I really enjoyed this movie. I can see some of the criticisms for this movie, but I don't see the overall negative response for the most part. If you go into this movie expecting a one-for-one recreation of Uncharted, you are not going to get that. But if you go into this movie expecting the spirit of Uncharted, you'll receive that and you will leave pretty satisfied for the most part. I think the action, the set pieces are all really well done. I like the plane sequence that you see here. It was choreographed very well. There's a later on sequence with boats, and that was done really well, and it was exciting. There are moments where the special effects feel a little hokey because you can clearly tell that it's CGI or it's transitioning between special effects and practical effects. Some of the moments do feel a bit rushed, especially in the beginning, trying to set up these characters into the scenarios that we want. And then towards the end, it feels a little rushed. However, I feel the way that they solve the mystery and go about looking for treasure is very much in the vein of what you expect in an Uncharted video game. Now, my biggest fear of this movie was Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, and I feel like Tom Holland delivers. I did not see him as Peter Parker. I did not see him as Tom Holland. I saw him as Nathan Drake for the most part. He captures the spirit and essence of Nathan Drake, the sarcastic humor, the charm, the witty banter, especially with Mark Wahlberg's Sully. Sully isn't a one-for-one of the Sully from the video games, but he's funny, he's sarcastic, and he plays off of Tom Holland's Nathan Drake very well, which is what we're looking for in here. I like the character of Chloe in this movie, but I feel like there's a little bit more room for her to grow as a character. The villains, while not particularly great, are fine for what the movie's trying to do. But overall, I'm really looking forward to a sequel for this movie, and I unabashedly really enjoyed Uncharted. I was laughing, I was having a good time, I was shoving popcorn in my face. You are going to have a good time. Just don't go in expecting the high caliber of writing that's in the Uncharted series of video games, because that's where the weak point of this film is really in its writing. But overall, it's a fun little adventure that I can really see myself watching from time to time, especially if they go with more sequels.